Okay, look, guys, I spent $500,000 on this bloody memorabilia room, and all we have in there still is a third-place trophy. So if you can just go and win something, anything, another trophy, an achievement award... No, K-Mag, I'm not putting your trophy wife on display. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. Today it is the Singapore Grand Prix as the championship season begins to wind down, round 17 of 22. So we are 5 to go after this one, and 5 to go with this one. Maths, I can't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's 5 to go at some point, and well, hopefully we're going to get a good result here. Now, of course, last time out in Monza in Italy, K-Mag came from the back of the grid to score some points, which is excellent. I think he ended up in 8th. But there is a little bit to catch you up on that's happened since last episode. The first is regarding the Tour Center. The Tour Center was level 1 last time I saw you. We upgraded to level 2, and then I just upgraded again to level 3. It was just under 400 grand to do so. I mean, it's just under 400, just over 400 grand to do it again. I wonder if we do, because we do get a little bit of weekly income. You can see there up to 28 grand, and so it pays for itself in terms of upkeep. So we might even do that, you know. It's essentially peanuts to do that. So yeah, we will do that. And yeah, the memorabilia room, still just level 1. If we want to get another trophy, I will upgrade it to level 2, but I'm not going to spend too much money on a third place trophy. Now the other thing that has happened, and this is more big news, I suppose, is that we've had a regulation change. So the cost cap is being reduced. Now, unsurprisingly, the teams that... Actually, no, surprisingly, the teams that voted for it were Red Bull and Ferrari. Now, you'd imagine that they have, and Alpine as well, you'd imagine they have bigger budgets, but they wanted it reduced along with ourselves and the two, Alfa Romeo, and Aston Martin. So, yeah, it's going to be down a little bit. It doesn't really affect us. We can't get to the cost cap right now anyway. So it just brings everybody else a little bit closer to us. So that is absolutely fine. Now, if we go and have a look at the cars, what we have done as well since last episode, if we look at car development, is that going to show us over here? If we go to research, we are currently researching front and rear wings. What has been completed is an underfloor we've researched. So that's done. So yeah, the car for next year is starting to come along quite nicely. And if we go and have a look at our drivers, do we have any development points? It's been 3 weeks since we had the Italian Grand Prix. It doesn't look like, oh no, wait, Correa has a development point. What is his worst attribute? Smoothness, accuracy. I mean, probably two of the more important things to be a racing car driver, never mind Formula 1. His contract is up at the end of the year. The only reason we will keep him is if there's not another American driver that we were able to sign. I'm not sure if Crawford or anybody's going to be old enough or have done enough F2, F3 experience to be able to come in. So we may be stuck with Correa, I guess, for another year, but he's not doing anything anyway. We don't have... now we're going to replace our engineer at the end of the season. The reason for that is if we go and... where is it? It's a contract to scout for replacement. He is currently rated 70. You can see I am already scouting a couple of guys that might be interested in coming to us. So this is our guy down here, Gary Gennon, and you can see there is just... I mean, there's F2 guys that are better, so... we can upgrade there. That is 100% for sure. So we're going to need to look to do that. So that is more or less everything that's happened off the track. If we go and get ready for the race here, the Singapore track, there it is there. We are expecting a dry weekend, are we? It looks like there are the sectors for qualifying. So red is the first sector, blue second, and the yellow sector is the final one. Sections by speed, it's a street course. It's more slow speed, traction zones, all that kind of thing. So it should suit our car, I think. Time considerations are there as well. There's obviously a big chance of a safety car as well, so it might be one to sort of hang for that. We can see there it's going to be a one stop by the looks of things. I think we probably want to start on the medium at this point and hang for that safety car is my plan. Compound performance, we can see how it all compares there. So can we reach Q3? Let's hope so. Q2, if you know, we should be able to get to that. Top 12, we'll go with those, get all the cash monies. Fastest lap is... all right, well, finishing position top 12, if we finish, should be doable. And qualifying hot streak, if we get a car in the top 14, we'll hit that target. And if we finish in the top 14, we'll be one away from doing that as well. So that is all very doable, you would hope. All right, let's head off to Singapore now. Okay, so weather forecast, dry, basically cloudy but dry, so that makes it relatively straightforward, doesn't it? All right, I'm going to do free practice, and I will see you momentarily for qualifying. All right, free practice is done. Now, we had mixed results, I would say. FP1, well, we scroll down and we'll see that Sargeant was 17th. K-Mag crashed on his outlap. Didn't even do a lap, which is obviously suboptimal, as they say. FP2 is a little bit better. K-Mag up there in 7th on the soft tyre and Sargeant in 11th. So that obviously is good. And then FP3, again, K-Mag up there in 8th. If we scroll down, you see there are some good penalties around as well. Sargeant 16th on a medium, and he crashed out of the session after 15 laps. So not instantly, not outlap K-Mag over there, but he definitely lost some time. So we're not completely sure what his setup is going to look like here. We will see 97, 90. Okay, so he's actually worked out okay on that front. So we'll go out there. We will do some some qualifying one and hopefully get ourselves through nice and easily. All right, so here come the glorious Haasers out onto the Marina Bay circuit. Let's hope this is a smooth session. All right, so we have K-Mag in 6th. We have Sargeant in 12th after the first run. So we're doing a second run. We're on board with Logan Sargeant here. And, well, hopefully, K-Mag should be safe. I almost left him in and saved the set of tyres, but I just wasn't completely sure. It is a little bit of a longer lap here, so we might go to ×2 speed and not dwell things out too long here. But it's going to be a long race, and we want to keep the episode length under 40 minutes if we can help it. Now, there's 2 cars up here, nose to tail. I'm not sure what has happened there, but they're certainly racing each other and hopefully not going to slow down Sargeant too much. Sargeant's done a blue first sector. If we can get things up here. Blue first sector? What am I talking about? A green first sector. So we've gone fastest again, or faster again, I should say, both of them. Albon has finished, Latifi has finished, so neither of them are going to worry us. Sainz is in the drop zone. That has now changed, so Sargeant is the car at risk. Gasly and Vettel are going faster. Can Sargeant get himself, or keep himself, in contention here? Now, there is an Aston Martin in front that's going slow here. I'm assuming that's Stroll. We don't need to come in for petrol. It's going to be back for Magnussen in a second as well. And let's see, have we stayed in? Sargeant has stayed in. Will he jump up at all? He will go ahead of Tsunoda. K-Mag is 7th. So there we go. Leclerc with a penalty was fastest. So K-Mag looking good, you would say, to get through. Sargeant will do very well to go any further or go beyond Q2. Alright, so we have done a banker lap. We have K-Mag in 7th, done exactly the same time as Perez. Sargeant down there in 14th, which is roughly where we'd expect him to be. Certainly that would be the case from what we saw in the first qualifying session. So we'll fast forward at just double speed and see what we can do. Lots of green sectors, it looks like there. And Sargeant is green through the first sector. K-Mag is not, which is maybe a little bit surprising given that he's on a new set of tyres. Hopefully he's going to do enough or have done enough to get himself into Q3 here. Sargeant has gone green middle sector as well. Checkered flag is out. K-Mag has done a green middle sector. So hopefully, it says it's yellow. I mean, he could be 0.001, you know, slower than he was first time around. So let's see what we got here. We don't need to refuel either car game. Where's K-Mag? K-Mag is quite a bit slower, isn't he? Here we go with Sargeant. He's done green, 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 and stays 14th. K-Mag comes across the line. He is 8th. So it is elimination for Logan Sargeant. He will start 14th unless there's penalties, which there is to Ricciardo and Zhou. So he should move up to at least to 12th. And depending on what the Leclerc penalty is, even further than that. So that's not too bad for him, to be honest. Let's go with K-Mag into Q3. Okay, so K-Mag has done his first run on a used set. We've got fresh tyres on now. He's currently sitting 8th. He's got about 3/10 to make up on Bottas. Now, I'm not sure if Bottas is going to be on a new set of... Oh, not too far. On a new set of tyres as well. He's going to green first sector. I mean, ideally, if we can just stay 8th, that's not the worst thing. I don't know if we have the pace of Bottas. We've sort of been around about 6th, 7th, or 8th anyway, so he's roughly where we'd expect him to be. Green first sector. Bottas has done a green second sector. Norris is going fast behind us. Alonso, not so much. Let's see what the second sector time is. Should be just here somewhere. There it is. So it is green for K-Mag. Checkered flag is out. Alonso has gone ahead of us. Norris has not. Let's see if we can go and beat the Fernando Alonso time. Doesn't need much. Just needs like not even half a tenth. And K-Mag has done it. So he'll be starting 8th. So a good job from K-Mag in the end. I'm not sure what the Leclerc penalty is, but it shouldn't be... well, it could be anything, couldn't it? It could be anything. So it'll be 7th at a good case. It'll be 8th at a worst case scenario for K-Mag. We'll find out, of course, soon. But first we need to do strategies, and it's 7th for K-Mag and 12th for Sargeant. So Leclerc is popped in somewhere in between the two of them there. Now, what do we do in terms of a strategy here? How marginal... Oh, we look how far the soft can go. So that's, I think, what we want to do. We can come in way, way earlier for the soft tyres, though. And that should still enable Sargeant to push on a little bit at the start. So I like that. I'm thinking, though, maybe with K-Mag, given how far the softs can go, maybe we do strategy A with him, but we push the softs on as far as we can, and then go onto a medium. So we'll sort of do the opposite to each other. So we've sort of split our strategy somewhat. I mean, it's almost the same lap, isn't it? There is no tyre wear here, apparently. All right, let's go and see if we can score some points. All right, so welcome back. It is the Singapore Grand Prix. As ever, we have a Ferrari and Red Bull on the front row. Oh, did Verstappen jump the start there a little bit? It didn't look like he didn't jump the start. Now, the one thing we can do with the tyres lasting as long as they are is I think we can afford to push both of them, knowing that we have a little bit of leeway. Alonso, as he put a move on K-Mag there. Not today, Fernando. And we've got our ERS, of course, as ever. We'll burn it the first 2 laps, try and get as far up as we can. It's possibly less important here. If we can get Bottas here, that would be really good, K-Mag. Sargeant has stayed 12th. And can he stick a move up the inside? He's a long way back. And, yeah, no move to be had there, unfortunately. And it is Verstappen leading Sainz and Hamilton up front. I mean, Magnussen does look to have a little bit of extra pace here. See if he can use that ERS to get past Bottas. I mean, there's going to be crashes. There were so many retirements from crashes during free practice. I mean, both of our guys had a crash. It seemed like there was always a virtual safety car going. There had to have been 10 retirements through or more even, through the 3 free practice sessions. So there is going to be a safety car at some point, almost certainly. Which kind of backs up, you know, if we burn through the ERS, we should be able to recharge it when, I'm going to say, the inevitable safety car does come out. But it's, can he get it done there? Can he get it done there? Go on, K-Mag. He's got the inside running now. Surely this is just a formality. Stick him up the inside. Run him to the wall. And Bottas is not going away. But if we stay on the outside here, we're going to have inside, then inside again, and then inside into turn 1 as well. That should be job done for K-Mag. It is. And that's a very, very good overtake as well early in the race to get ahead of the Alpha. That is, of course, who we are still battling in the championship. In theory, it is a 20-point or so difference. Bottas had a really good result last time out, didn't he? So that's going to change things a little bit. Sargeant still sitting there in 12th. He is behind Esteban Ocon. We'll stick with K-Mag for a lap here. See if he can close in on Russell. Now, Russell has a second gap in front of him, or a little bit less than that now. So when DRS opens, we could be in with a chance. I think what we might do, though, now is we'll go back to neutral on K-Mag. Let's see where Sargeant is sitting here. He's in a bit of a train. So we might... we'll let him go for now. We'll give him the back straight. And then we might look to back things off a bit here. Norris is definitely holding up Leclerc there. But he's, of course, still in the train as well. That is... more or less behind Russell. And we've seen this before from the Mercedes. They don't have good race pace, particularly early on in a race, it seems. So we'll take him off of his ERS now, and we'll go to a bit more of a fast-forward mode and see where this race develops. DRS is, of course, enabled now, so we'll get that down the back straight. Russell is... what's happening there? Oh, we've got ahead of Russell. Magnussen has overtaken Russell. I'm assuming that's DRS assisted down the back straight. And, yeah, DRS, easy as you like. It was done before the kink in the back straight. And, yeah, very, very nicely done indeed by K-Mag. Now, let's have a look. We can actually check what everybody's tyres are on. So, more or less, everybody, certainly at the front of the field, is on a soft tyre. Now, K-Mag is got a little bit more tyre than everybody else as well, so that's obviously a positive. I'd imagine everybody's going to push on somewhat here. Is Russell going to get us back? Not quite. He is all over the back of us, though. And multiple cars have crashed. Where are our two guys? Oh, Magnussen's one of them. And why do I think George Russell has just run up the back of K-Mag and cleaned him up? Is he out? He is out. Well, I think we all know what we're going to see here, don't we? George Russell has just punted us off the road from 5th place. That is unbelievable. Oh, and the Ferraris had a sympathy crash as well. Okay, so safety car is coming in. We've got Sargeant currently in 9th. Magnussen was the only one who actually retired from the race. Leclerc and Russell are both still in, and Russell would have served his penalty under the safety car when he pit stopped there for a new front wing. So that all feels very, very harsh on us indeed. Let's deploy and see if we can make up some cheap positions here. But what could have been, we'll keep an eye on Bottas, because Bottas was behind us, and see where he finishes. But I just have a feeling we've lost out on some big points there. This is a track that should have suited our car. And, well, obviously, it's a massive shame to be out with absolutely no fault of our own. But it's over to Logan Sargeant now. If he can stay with these guys, put on the softs, he'll have better tyres at the end. Everybody in front of us should be going to a medium. So, you never know. There might be, if Sargeant can keep it on the track himself, there might be a good result to be had here. Sainz has gone to a hard, so no, he's trying to get to the end. Here come all the stoppers now. Sargeant is currently sitting in 3rd. And assuming Perez and Ocon come in this lap, we are indeed going to see Esteban Ocon. We're going to see Logan Sargeant take the lead of a Formula 1 Grand Prix. He would be the first American to lead a Grand Prix in God knows how long. I don't know if Michael Andretti ever managed it when he was back at McLaren in the 90s, but if not, who was the last American to lead a Formula 1 Grand Prix? It's Logan Sargeant is the answer, but before that, excellent work from Logan. It wouldn't be Mario Andretti, would it? Surely there's somebody in between. Eddie Cheever, maybe? There's one for the comments. Last American to lead a Formula 1 Grand Prix. The gap is coming down. We're inside our pit window now. So I guess we go full attack. I don't want him to send it off into the fence. That's the problem.
Okay, mode push, mode push.
But if we go full push... And a safety car now, Formula 1 gods, would be a brilliant thing. Latifi, you could have stuck it in the fence, mate. But we've got probably one more lap. Do we safety car hang here, I wonder? Or do we look at it as if everybody behind us is catching up quite quickly? There is a big part of me that wants to hang out for the safety car. But we'll come in on our optimal lap. We'll keep pushing. The gap is down to 4 seconds now to the train behind. So we are going to come out hopefully ahead of Tsunoda. This is our lap. Put on the softs. And see if that's going to work out for us. We just want to be a little bit careful on the petrol now. So in we come. We are going to get out. We're going to be behind Tsunoda. So we're down to 15th. Has that maybe not quite worked for us? as we jump back on board. And can we get it done? Can we get it done? Oh, that's much, much better. So he's learnt lessons from Tsunoda. He's got past Gasly nice and quickly.
Good job.
Now we've got 6 seconds to catch Denny Rick in front. And we've got a safety car. Well, that is actually brilliant, brilliant news, because that's going to back everybody up. Everybody will be behind the safety car. And they're either going to pit for soft tyres and put us in front, or they're going to be on old tyres and we can pick them off. Okay, so safety car is ending. We're currently in 11th. Zoe, Ricciardo, and Gasly, who's behind us anyway, have stopped for soft tyres. But looking in front, I don't think Leclerc and Russell are going to get to the line. And, well, have we actually started? There's a Williams in there somewhere, so there's lap traffic. And this is where unlapping really needs to become a thing. All right, let's see if we can take advantage of some chaos here. If we go on to deploy. We need to get this Williams out of the way, please. We've got a car coming up our inside. We've lost a position, have we, to Guan Yu Zhou on the soft tyre. Well, that is massively unfortunate. And, yeah, we've been mugged off by a lap car, so we're even further away from the points than we started. But we don't need to panic. Guan Yu Zhou is faster than us too, isn't he? So it's unlikely we can get him back, but maybe we can follow him through. Lap 46 of 61. It could be a very, very exciting end to this one. We've got Norris in front of us now. Can we go and get that move done? Up the inside, and that should be completed, is it? It's like Bottas with Magnussen earlier on in the race. We're going to have DRS enabled.
DRS is enabled.
And along with the soft tyres, that should now be a very, wouldn't say comfortable, but certainly an easier time of things. And I'm wondering if Russell and Leclerc can get to the end. I would be not completely convinced by that. Now, there's someone going quite slow up here, is there? We certainly caught that up quickly. Let's go double speed. And, well, it makes you wonder what we could have done, doesn't it? I mean, Bottas was the car that Magnussen was with. Magnussen would have been on a medium tyre with the gap. Would we have stopped him for a soft? I mean, that's hypothetical. We don't know, basically. But, I mean, he was at 5th when Russell ran at the back of him. Russell is currently sitting in 4th. So, I mean, some of that is down to not having a pit stop, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, it could have been a wonderful race for K-Mag. And, well, Sargeant is showing that the car has pace as well. So that is just a little bit frustrating. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. So Guan Yu Zhou is about to get Alonso. Can we now do the same thing down the back straight? We might be just a little far away. Let's go to push. I was going to save some petrol for the end here, but it's only, what, 10, 12, 13, I don't know, laps to go. But Alonso on wearing mediums. Let's see if we can get this done. Don't run up the back of him. We've got DRS. The issue that we have is a DRS train here a little bit. Alonso is going to get towed along. So Sargeant might need to get a little bit creative if he's going to get an overtake done. And of course, the disappointing thing is that we did somewhat burn out our ERS at the start, trying to take advantage of the Williams being there, and it actually cost us a position. But Alonso would be a point. And I think he may have even lost the DRS to the car in front, has he? He has. So Sargeant, I mean, Alonso is never an easy guy to overtake. But this should be as easy as it's ever going to be versus Fernando. Come on, Logan. He is doing a cracking job, though, isn't he? Can we get the job done down here now? DRS. We've got the inside. Can we... No. Oh, that was close. But he's okay. We are losing out quite a bit now to cars in front. And Leclerc has pit. That means Russell will need to pit. So this is going to be a point. It'll put us up into P10. Alonso is now P9. And what's Logan Sargeant's best finish? Did he get a 10th? He was in France, wasn't it? He scored a point. I think it was France. I can't remember how many points he got though, but he's on for a good result here if he can keep it on the track and possibly get past Alonso sooner rather than later. Now, Leclerc's tyres were roughly the same condition as Russell's were, so Russell is surely going to have to stop. And didn't get a great exit there, did he? He's coming back at him, though. Come on, Logan. Come on, Logan. I wouldn't be surprised if... and we're doing this move again. How many? We've seen 3 Haas moves now through that. You're not supposed to overtake there, Logan. Wonderful, wonderful move. Up to P9, and let's see if he can keep going now. Catch the back of Perez. Oh, no, Alonso's still there. Never mind, let's just see off Fernando first. Let's deploy down this back straight and just make sure that Fernando Alonso is staying behind us. No, there he goes. It was never going to be easy to get past Fernando Alonso, was it?
That's a good overtake.
So that's disappointing. Yeah, I mean, unless Alonso wants to go and beat or catch the cars in front, what we need to do is we almost need to catch them and overtake him as we catch the back of them so that we get DRS to protect ourselves. But unfortunately, we used up our ERS trying to stay ahead of him, and it didn't work, and so now we don't really have them to attack. We do have a little bit this lap. If we go to overtake, can we get it done? Can we get it done? Oh dear, who's that? Who? Norris has come through, so now we're out at... Where did that McLaren come from? Is that Ricciardo has come from nowhere?
That will be us.
So Ricciardo on a soft tyre has come from nowhere, and now we're out of the points. So that maybe is just showing that we are... Alonso is lacking pace, and we were... Oh, that is so annoying. That is so frustrating. And we're still now stuck behind him, and Alonso has galloped off into the distance. Russell is coming to stop, so it moves us back into the points, but we've got to get Alonso. We have got Alonso, and we have pulled clear. Have we of Alonso? All right, so that should be move done. That should be moved. Oh, he's still sticking around, though. He's such an annoying little Spaniard, isn't he? We should be clear, though, now. Oh, he's so good. He is just so good. He's still sticking. No, it's Gasly, who's on a softer tyre. Or a soft tyre, I should say. Let's go back on board. This is interesting. So we've got Ricciardo and Ocon in front. Now, Ocon is still on the medium. We've sort of done our lot on the using extra petrol. But if we can catch... We should be going to catch Ocon here. Tyres are still good to get to the end. There's only 4 laps to go, actually. Let's push on a little bit with the tyres. And, oh, Jesus. So we didn't have DRS down that straight, but we certainly should have it now. It says we're 1.5 seconds back. I mean, that's not 1.5 seconds. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. We should have DRS, though, surely this time. And what we don't need is another Alpine to hold us up for 20 laps. And Leclerc is coming very, very fast behind us as well. Is he ahead of Gasly? Not yet. Come on, you've got to get this done. You've got to get that... Oh, that was a silly place to try. And Leclerc is now behind us. So what we need is this next DRS zone. We need to get this done. We'll go full deploy, I think, out of this corner. And you've got to get it. You've got to get it. You have. Well done, Logan. That's P8 for now. I suspect it's not going to be P8 for long because Leclerc on a soft tyre is just going to be faster than us. And I fully expect to see him coming past us down this front straight. But if we could cling to the back of him, we've got 3 laps to go. So there goes Leclerc. That's absolutely fine. Let's try and stay with him. We should get DRS down this straight. We do.
And Ferrari just gained a place.
We don't necessarily want to overtake him back. We just need to let him drag us forward. P9 is absolutely fine. Ocon is no longer behind us. We've dropped him from DRS, so he's not a threat right now. And did we do enough to get DRS down this straight? We did. And we're going to be caught up to the back now of, well, Bottas. Bottas is right there. I mean, he was the guy that was behind Magnussen. So Sargeant, I mean, I cannot speak highly enough of how well he has done here. Can he manage to get up to the back of them? If not, I mean, the worst case scenario here, we're looking at a P9. And I think that equals his best. I think he got a 9th in France. I could be wrong. I don't know why I think that, but I thought he got 2 points. Unless he got 10th and fastest lap, maybe. But, I mean, we're catching here. Perez is the next car. Guan Yu Zhou is up to 3rd. So that's frustrating, isn't it? I just don't think Sargeant is just not as good as Guan Yu Zhou. You know, that's nothing against him. He's just, it's his first year, and he's not as good as I mean, it's Guan Yu Zhou's first year as well. We're going to go full push on the tyres. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to go this way. Let's push the petrol as much as we can. As soon as it goes to even, though, we'll have to back out of that. And I don't think we're going to quite manage to get another position here. We've got 3 seconds behind us, but we're basically doing the same speed as the cars in front. And, I mean, their tyres have got to be, well, I mean, they're roughly at the level we're at, to be honest. But last DRS zone, that's not going to quite happen for us. So let's just go back to standard. What we don't want to do at this point is sticking in a fence. So Logan Sargeant is coming around. It could have been so much more. Guan Yu Zhou is 3rd, and I think we can justifiably say Magnussen was probably finished ahead of him. So we've probably missed out on a podium thanks to George Russell, but Sargeant comes home 9th.
Checkered flag.
Points for Haas in Singapore. So there we go. Verstappen wins the race ahead of Sainz. Guan Yu Zhou up 16 places. Man of the match for him. Ricciardo up 13. And, I mean, they both went past us, didn't they? As did Leclerc, though that's probably more justifiable. So 9th. That's absolutely fine. That's brilliant, in fact. So Drivers' Championship. K-Mag stays 9th, though I suspect he would have even potentially jumped Fernando Alonso if he hadn't been George Russelled. And Sargeant, so it is 4, so he had 2 points before, so he's had 2 9th place finishes now. He stays 15th. Did he move up ahead? Oh, Ricciardo's overtaken him, but he's overtaken Tsunoda. I see what's happened there. And the constructors, well, it just keeps us, pulls out a little bit more of a gap there on AlphaTauri, but yeah, Alfa Romeo had a very, very good race, and if there was a chance of us passing them, that's probably gone now. But there we go, that's it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. We've got development point for K-Mag, do we? No, we do have one for Sargeant. Yeah, such a shame that Magnussen got taken out, but Sargeant did the team proud, came home with 2 points, and I'll see you next time for Japan. Take care.